I'm on dada, baby, no go put me for the corner. Girl, I want to take you to my mama. Girl, I want to love you till forever. Something about love, something about us.
Hey everybody, sorry about that. Welcome to Jabari Rock Media. Can people hear me okay? Let's see. All right. Let's bring up our brother Fahd. Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, perfect.
Very good.
I had an issue. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for coming on to the show. We have I'm in here. What's up? Ru. Nice to meet you. We got 3 people so far. Hopefully we get some more people on. Welcome to the show. Yesterday we had a very good show as well, good live streams, a little bit of technical difficulties, but things seem to be fine on my end for right now. Apologize about that. We are here with our good brother here, Fahd. Fahd is a community organizer, former CO, right?
I was a captain.
Former captain.
Yeah.
And does a lot of grassroots work. Lots. I'm always seeing the brother out there in the field, and we are going to be talking about some very good points. We're going to be talking about his time in Yemen. He just got back, and then we're also going to talk about Palestine. So how you doing today, my brother Fahd?
I'm good. And how you doing? And how the folks out there? Everything is in chill mode. We're all okay. God willing.
Yep, God willing, man. Definitely.
Yes.
It's good to see you back, bro. You look good, brother.
Yes. I'm kind of happy to be back and kind of sad too in the same light.
Well, let's get right into it.
Sure.
So you know, in this particular time, you went to Yemen, and this is a very interesting time to go to Yemen. I have so many questions because Yemen
Sure.
is literally on the forefront against colonialism and is fighting the Zionists head on. They are literally the highlight of what
Yes.
resistance actually looks like. So
Yes.
you're from
Yes.
Yemen. Your family's from Yemen, right?
Yes. Yes.
Are you?
That's why
What
that
is
blood
it
is in me. So yes, yes, yes. So to speak on that, I did go to Yemen. They're definitely pro Palestine all the way. And when I
Right.
say pro, they're willing to die for the Palestinian brothers and sisters.
Mm.
You can't push and kill people and think their blood is made out of gold, and when you fight back, our blood is made out of water. Nah, they don't play that. You're gonna touch our brothers and sisters. We're gonna touch you back. We don't want to. We don't want to. We prefer peace, but we're not no pushovers. And Yemen is, I think, one of the leaders when it comes to resistance because they're not playing. At all costs. No matter what, they're gonna definitely defend their Palestinian brothers and sisters. It has to be kind of like, over, from the sea, because they can't really get in, but someone has to defend those kids. Who the hell wants to slaughter innocent babies, innocent kid, men, women, and children? And I do know, like, I was looking on Yemen, they try to make it look like it's some kind of danger zone, this and that.
Right.
Let me tell you something. It's totally bogus BS. They're trying to brainwash people here in America. Even me, I was Googling there, a little on the edge. I met some of the most humblest people in my life when I went to Yemen. The most nicest, courageous, strong people that really don't have much, but just their lives. A lot of poor people out there, and you wouldn't even imagine how poor. Sometimes people don't have food to eat or water to eat, to drink, but they'll continue to resist for their love, even though we're Yemenis, but the Yemenis says our blood is Palestinian. So we'll continue to do whatever we could do to resist and fight tyrants.
Yeah, man, I definitely stand in solidarity with the people of Yemen. It's just extraordinary everything that Yemenis people have been through this past decade alone, with the U.S. coalition war, with Saudi Arabia, and now here we are. We got two different factions in Yemen. We got the Saudi faction, and then we also have the Ansar Allah, which they are in control of the capital, right? That's mostly where they govern.
Correct. So I was mostly in the Aden section of there, and I have some positive. And the Houthis run the north. I was on the south. Okay. But I have some positive things. I love how the Houthis are defended and out there for the Yemeni people. But also when they try to invade into the south, they attack like the electricity, the water. People are suffering. The heat is over 100 degrees out there, and when you ain't having no AC or anything like that,
right.
It's really hard for them to live. But they basically say Alhamdulillah in translation. That means all praises be to God. And they continue to just live and humble. I mean, I was in a home where there was estimated about 30 people in there. People just laying out, on the floors. They would give me and literally they did. They gave me their own mattresses. So me and my kids could, and my family could, just be as comfortable as we could. Eventually I had to go get a hotel room, and I brought everyone with me. Right. A day with me is about $35, but at least I had running water and I had electricity. And it's real sad to leave those people there, without that kind of things. But again, when it comes to war, things happen, and and it's just sad. They attack their waters, they attack their electricity. Everything is broken. Not for the most part, but I'm telling you, the most humblest people I ever met was in Yemen.
And also, this is a country that is the poorest in the Middle East, right? Or is the poorest country in the world?
Correct. Actually, I don't know if it's in the world, but definitely within the Middle East. Because you got to understand, the Yemeni people won't sell their souls to no one. They stand by. Yeah, they'll stand by. Their faith. And there's a lot of tribes out there and stuff like that. You're not gonna put $1 on those people, and tell them to give up so and so, or to cause, some sort of division where, you want to say, somehow the Palestinians are the terrorists, when actually it's not. It's the Israeli forces along with the Zionists.
Right.
But you won't find them saying that. I mean, the pictures that I've seen out there on the walls, on the things, you probably get in trouble in the United States, but it's Yemen. It's a very Islamic country where they support their people, no matter what you want to call them.
Right. And when you talk about the part where you see most of those things you might get in trouble in the U.S., I think about when people say death to America, a lot of Americans will interpret that as saying that, oh, they want all of America to die. But we try to explain to them that means that they're against what the influence of what America has caused overseas. It's not against the American people.
Sure, without a doubt. And to be real, I was an American, and they knew I was an American, and they treated me with respect. There was people who offered me their food that they were going to eat, or free transportation, or you won't believe, I mean, their own beds to sleep on.
Right.
I had numerous invites as an American. Me and you can roll over there. They'll treat you with the most honor and respect and dignity, especially since you're a big supporter of Palestine.
Yeah.
It's the media tries to brainwash people. It's BS, to be quite frank with you. It's not what the media portrays Yemen to be, and what that stuff says on the internet, like it's one of the most hottest spots in the world. That's all BS. All BS.
Yeah. And this is the type of this is also the type of mindset that I have been given, talking with people overseas, talking with people here, that are from many different countries. This idea of just being fearful. When you travel, you supposed to know where you're supposed to go at all times. I'm not talking about somebody just going somewhere and they get robbed. But when you travel, you make sure that you know where you're going. And people have a sentiment thinking that everybody hates us. And we have to break that barrier, because it's like you're saying, it's allowing the propaganda to keep going.
Yeah. And that's totally bogus. No, they don't hate Americans, nor but they just hate what some of the American government does. Like any who the hell wants to see their kid get blown up, or their mother get blown up, or their elder get blown up, or any human being get blown up, and support that? They're like, hell no, we're not supporting that. If you want to call us a terrorist for turning those boats around and messing up your economy, then do whatever you want to do. Right. Until you guys stop, we'll stop. But you guys need to stop.
Yeah.
And they blew up their airport in Sana'a. That's on the north side. They tore that airport up and stuff like that. And I had family members that were crying and saying how they heard the bombing over there. Like it was it's very loud. And the kids crying, and the mom and the kids are like holding. Usually the men are like the protectors, so they try to get the women and the children out of there as fast and safe as they could, and the men will stay there to defend, for the most part.
Yeah. And when you were coming back to the United States, did you get it? You didn't get any trouble? No one asked you in customs, what the hell you doing in Yemen?
You know what? I was, that only happened to me one time before. That was when I went to Palestine, and the Israeli police or military, like 4 military guys, grabbed me. They held me for a couple hours. But when I went to Yemen, it was pretty. It was like no problem. I mean, it's a little different when you go through like Turkey. Like I went through Turkey, and when I went to Turkey, it was fine. It was almost like America. But when we go to Egypt, you just gotta, to be quite honest, be careful because sometimes they try to get bribes. They're trying to take, like cops will be trying to tell you either do this. I don't know if you ever traveled overseas or anything.
I've been to the Dominican. That's it so far.
Okay, yeah. So some of the cops over there, they're trying to like, oh, we're gonna do this for you and do that for you, and it's just simply just getting your passport back. They want bribes. I mean, you could tell them no, and they'll tell them, may God be with you. A little bit in Yemen too, but once I went to Yemen, that welcome to your country. They asked me, have I ever been in Yemen? I actually, when I married my wife out there, I had to become a Yemeni citizen because I was born in America. So I said, yeah, my parents, are Yemeni and this is my country. That's what I told them. They said, they're very sensitive when it comes to the women. So they told me, have my wife, like stay on the side. And I told them that, she speaks better Arabic than me. I just want to make sure because I don't really know what's going on. So I come in, I see about like 30 of my family members outside. They used to be able to come in, but with like security measures now, you can't really enter the airport. So they're all outside. Unless, you have family members like, you have family members and you could go right on the runway if you want to. That happened to me before when I first time went to Yemen. But things changed. After that was all set, I went in, just you won't believe the love, the hugs. Imagine not seeing your family for 20 years. It's just it was like a pot of gold. Just seeing people that you didn't even know. You just talk to them. This cousin and that cousin, and a lot of my family, they wear what's called a niqab, like a face veil. Gotcha. So I would say to them like, who's this, who's that, and they would tell me. And last time I was there, they were like 5-6 years old. Now they're like 20 years old, and they're like adults now. It's sensational feelings. And they don't allow you to do anything. They'll take your luggage and pack it up and on the roof. And you know what? I even seen some crazy stuff where people would even there's really, the laws are very limited. I seen people on top of the roof, just driving to try, guns, people have guns. I mean, they're not firing, but people just, you walking around with guns. It's just like normal, but I felt at peace. Hearing the call for prayer, you would hear it 5 times a day, so loud, so beautiful. It just humbled your heart. You would just wake up 4:30 in the morning, and without being even it's just a different feeling. Even
That's
though,
awesome.
yeah, it just really, really moved my heart. But I was prepared. I did definitely tell my family, listen, once we get to New York, they might take me. Don't worry, I'm with God. I'm not worried about these people. But actually, they didn't. They welcome to America. They gave me my passports, and that was about it. He was a Pakistani guy too, so I don't know if that helps or anything. yeah. Which, yeah. They were, to be honest, they were pretty respectful. I actually know someone who works there too, and he asked me. He's like, "Did they take you?" I said, "No, they didn't." He's like, yeah, you don't really have that problem. Maybe 10 years ago, 5 years ago. But, they see me out there and sometimes they want to give me trouble. But the most time I ever had trouble was going through that Israeli airport. Oh, man. I didn't know if I was going to come. Yeah, to be quite honest, I didn't know if I was going to come out alive because I wasn't definitely allowing them to put their hands on me or spit at me or anything like that. All hell would have broke loose no matter what happened.
There was recently a flotilla, that boat that went through, with Chris Smalls on it, and he got manhandled. He was the only one that got beat up, and it's just as much as they try to pretend that they are like the most moral, the labels. We all heard the labels. We don't need to repeat them. There's just always that reminder, always in the media, with Americans, either they're Palestinian Americans getting murdered or just regular, whatever they want to call regular Americans. Honestly, what is a regular American? People just getting beat up, people just getting shot, killed. You know what I mean? And this country does nothing about it. They just allow that type of violence. So I'm glad that you was able to, not have to worry about that, dealing with the Israelis at the airport. Because Jesus Christ, my heart probably would have been racing, dude.
yeah. To be honest with you, that's something I would, just something I'm in for the rest of my life, no matter what it costs me. That's something that, like a flotilla, this and that. I don't mind going there and, whatever happens. I've been there. I was the only American in our group. There was about 20, 25 of us, mostly all Guyanese Americans.
Got you.
And they were the only one that grabbed me. But they told me a year before that they strip searched the women. There was other women, and they strip searched them in the airport. They did, and their purpose is to try to humiliate you,
right,
so you don't come there no more.
Right.
And that's holy grounds for the Muslim people. Masjid al-Aqsa is a very holy place. And the people over there would, like, no matter what they do, continue to tell the people to come. They're trying to break our economy, but but I was ready. My father wanted me to go back because, when we were in Jordan, we're very
right,
comfortable. There's a lot of brothers out there, you didn't feel that. But as soon as you went there, there's so much, like, cameras, it's huge cameras, and and you see everyone start tensing up. The driver's he was like, I can't go in there, I'm Palestinian. I met people that were on the route crying that we were going there. And you got to understand, from Jordan to Palestine, in certain areas you could actually see the Holy Land over there, but you're not allowed to enter there because from the Nakba they kicked them out. It was like they were supposed to return, but once they left, they didn't allow them to go back. So now you have brothers broken up with their fathers and sons and broken up. I've seen grown men cry to say that, they're not allowed to touch their kids anymore because they left during the Nakba and they won't allow them to go back in.
And I'm so happy that you not happy about hearing this, first of all, because people in the comment section will be like, oh, you happy about hearing this? I'm not happy about hearing this. This is very sad, but I'm glad that you were able to share this because a lot of people just don't know. I read about what you just talked about. You know what I mean? Like, it is good that people would experience that, have seen what you've seen going to Jordan, which is a population of 60% is Palestinian there. And King Amadullah is half Anglo-Saxon for the listeners. He is a puppet of the West. He does
without a doubt.
Yeah, he does. He does the forbidding. When people ask why aren't certain Middle Eastern countries are not doing enough, it's because they have no choice but to do what the U.S. says. A lot of them are in power only because the U.S. allows it to be. CC is one of them in Egypt.
Absolutely. Yes, so right.
So it's the people that you see 24/7 out on the streets that are fighting for Palestinians. These governments is just not. They're not going to do anything. This is why Yemen is so important. And what we hear from Colombia and what we heard from Ireland so far now. People are calling for military occupation. I wanted to ask you, how do you feel about that? Like, people are not military occupation, military involvement to stop this. Do you think that the talking point is far gone and we need a military involvement from the world?
I would say that every human being, even an animal, to defend itself. Back a cat into a corner, watch it try to defend itself. What about us humans? You're killing people's kids. Yeah, I think we're way beyond. I think some form of military or some form needs to fight fire with fire. We're not some pushovers or anything like that. Yeah, absolutely. If you're shooting me, I have the right to defend myself. Even an animal would defend himself. Back a cat in a corner. I mean, of course, I want peace. I prefer not to have war. But if you're backing me in a corner, I support 110% of what the Yemeni people are doing. And we'll continue to do it.
And here in Connecticut, you haven't stopped being boisterous. You said that you also wear shorts, Palestinian shorts, to the gym and everything. You got your scarf on 24/7.
Oh yeah.
How is the movement so far here in Connecticut? What do you think that we should be doing more of to get people attention? We have comrades that are blocking weapon shipments when they can. What other advice can we give?
It's a real hard thing. I think we lost a lot of momentum. People just became immune to all this.
War
Just
fatigue.
just kind of, our heart, like, before myself, I would always watch the videos, and it was so heartbreaking to me. Right now, I can't watch the videos because I start getting depressed. Even though I do, it's not like I did, but we just got to continue going to places where people don't really know about this, because to be quite honest, like when I do this, kind of like in front of my house, I have my Palestinian flag, rocking full-blown flag nonstop. It's been there for almost a year, on and off. I stand with Palestine, a little bulletin board that's right behind me. I wear my full-blown Palestinian, things at Planet Fitness, or even when I went to Coney Island yesterday, I go there, and, there's more support that I see than not. And I never had anyone to be honest with you, I never had anyone step to me. Sometimes I would see someone look at me like ill. Bro, I work out like 2 or 3 hours a day, and I give them a look and they just tend to, what I see so far, tend to back up. Even when I was in Times Square yesterday, or gym, and they probably knows, like, damn, this guy's pretty crazy. He's just walking around with Palestinian gear, just full blown, doesn't even care. And I really don't.
Yeah.
They like, I'm really risk my whole life, to protect a child, or the Palestinian people. Their blood is my blood.
Yeah, man. It's just insane what Donald Trump, and this will be like the last part. I don't want to hold you for too long. It's just so insane with Donald Trump and his cronies. They're extorting universities. I just heard about how they're trying to bring back that law, that policy that was already in place about not funding people who are anti-Semitic. And their definition of anti-Semitism, it honestly just, is just pro-Zionist. It's not even the definition of being Semitic. I mean, you speak a Semitic language yourself.
Sure.
Ethiopians speak Semitic languages. There's Italians, and they take the Semitic language, the languages, and just put the Semitic concept only for Jewish people, and it's like so misleading because people don't get a full understanding of what it is to be Semitic and what it is being anti-Semitic.
Saying free Palestine is something that Netanyahu said was anti-Semitic. It's all bullcrap.
Right.
I've been rolling with the Jewish community for so long. I led rallies to help them against anti-Semitic. All of a sudden, I'm gonna dislike them for just being their religion. That's against our religion. That's against my faith. That's against my belief. But I'm gonna call it as I see it. If a government is slaughtering, people, and they trying to have this image where they're just killing terrorists. Thank God for the internet, and thank God for live stream and all this stuff, because the population would have believed what they believed 20 years ago.
Yes.
We were killing Iraqi terrorists. 1 million people have died, and I don't have the exact numbers on top of my head, but people believed they were fighting terrorists, and they were fighting, Uncle Joe and Uncle Tom, and
right.
All these people that we see in our neighborhood. Why are you killing civilian people? What did they do to you? What did they do to you? It was all
families
nothing
were
but
disappearing here. I was way too young to remember, but that's what I was told, that so many
without a doubt,
disappearing here.
Without a doubt. I was threatened one time at one point back then with life imprisonment for standing up for justice. For not trying to be some sort of sellout. I didn't want their money. I didn't want their power. I didn't want nothing. I just wanted the hereafter, and I would do anything to defend my people. And they wanted me on their side, and I said, hell no. everything, the whole world and everything in it. I would never set up innocent people.
Yeah. Fahd, brother, I want to thank you so much for taking the time out to come on this show.
Thank you.
This was a very, very inspiring discussion, and I hope people that are watching share this video, share out the information that's the link in the description on where you can donate to POW Relief Crisis. Please share that out. The Jabari Vlog Media has been a proud collaborator on Instagram with many different other creators on fundraising to get as many families we can the aid that they need. And POW Crisis Relief is one of those organizations that is full on helping out people. In Rafah alone, they helped out over 100,000 people. So please, if you want to help displaced families in Gaza, if you want to help families that are trying to leave Gaza because they have to raise money to leave Gaza, it's not free. Go check out that page, and also check out my page and look at the tags, because it's tagged with vetted fundraisers, vetted stories, real people, and we will continue to keep doing that until Meta closes down my account. So please go check that out. Fahd, do you have any last words before we end, my brother?
Yes. So in about a month, I'll send you out the flyer. There's something called a gathering in Waterbury. There's usually about 100 different cultures and stuff like that. And with all my work and stuff like that, I know how to mobilize, and the city invited me. And of course, I'm representing Palestine and Yemen and other different countries for my community. And we're invited. There will be raising the Palestinian flag right in front of City Hall. That's how much juice I got in my city right now. So we're going to be open. There's about like 10,000 people that usually come around. I mean, it's just an estimate. And we're going to have an open parade for Palestine, along with a lot other cultures and other things. So there's a flyer. I'll make sure I get it out, and the date and stuff like that. That's something that I think one of the most amazing events in the city of Waterbury.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Fahd. Yes. And have a really good day. And to your kid that's watching, thank you so much. Your dad's awesome.
Peace. Take care.
All right. And for everybody that's listening, I wanted to bring on a discussion later. We're going to talk about it's probably going to be a conversation that I'm going to have with Dust James. I wanted to bring in the conversation with him about revolutionary history as in the working class, learning about the labor unions and the Communist Party. We'll have that out soon. All right. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. But other than that, this is the episode of Unsavory Politique. Go ahead, like, share, subscribe. Please tell somebody about us. I love the buzz. We have literally 60 new subscribers in the past 30 days, which was insane that I saw. I did not expect that. So let's keep this momentum going. Let's build this YouTube channel up. Remember, they don't monetize shit like this. So the only way that we can keep talking and keep having these conversations is sharing this content. And make sure you're sharing the content of everyone else that is also revolutionary and trying to build working class consciousness, because this is a very big deal. This is not about just Jabari Vlog Media. This is about bringing out the truth and also solidarity in the struggle. This is what it's all about. This is the only reason why I do this shit. Only reason why. And I had to wait for my brother Fahd. And you see exactly how revolutionary he is. The man has been around in the Middle East and he is not afraid. That's courage. So I hope people were inspired by this, and I hope you have a really good day.
Blank period, yeah. On my black, brown, and indigenous. Gotta holler if you really feeling this. Gotta holler if you really real enough. Other rappers is delirious. Yeah, it's really that serious. Better holler if you really feeling me. I gotta keep it 100, ayy. If you don't like it, then fuck it, ayy. We gonna win in the end, yeah, we gonna live in abundance. I gotta keep it 100, ayy. If you don't like it, then fuck it, ayy. We gonna win in the end, yeah, we gonna. I gotta keep it 100. We gotta stop all the stunting. You know we coming from nothing. Yo, you talking about money, you bluffing. We We gotta do something different. We gotta change how we live in. We gotta do better for women. We gotta do better for children. We gotta listen to victims, whether Jewish or Muslim or Christian. It doesn't matter your religion. You gotta stand against the system, or else you just another villain. How you just sitting there chilling?